Yo, yo, yo. Bear down, everybody. Senior Bowl live in effect here. Bo Nix, second drive for the national team. Handoff up the middle. He's got some room. Woo. Texas Tech running back Vidal. Big run up the middle. National team looking to get going down 7-0 here early on. Trip was long and awesome. Oh man, Doug, there's Kerry Joseph is calling the plays for the national team. There's a lot of coaches out there though. Jim Dre was coaching the O-line. Those are the only Bears coaches at the Senior Bowl. Bo Nix to the flat, gonna get about 7 yards on that to his Penn State tight end. What's everybody up to today? Kinda just taking in the entire Senior Bowl game. So much still to process from the week of practice. Let me just make sure you guys can't hear anything. Oh, yeah, Ryan Poles is there. He was there all week. Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham. I thought you meant actually coaching. Draft C. Williams. Who do you mean by C. Williams? Sounds like you're talking about Connor Williams, the free agent? Oh, you're talking about Caleb Williams. I'm sorry. How did I not know Caleb? My mind isn't on quarterback right now. Not what I was thinking. Hey, Plank, what's good? What's good, Plank? Inside the 10-yard line, Bo Nix drops back, throws it over the middle. Oh, Javon Baker to the 1. My guy, Javon Baker, getting down to the 1-yard line. That's the guy I really like, wide receiver I talked to. I got a lot more interviews to come too, Doug. I probably got about 30 of them at least. Gus, still a long way to go for that, but the guy I liked the most was JPJ. Oh, yeah, you like Javon Baker, babe? That's right. He's in the slot right now. Baker, Bo Nix handoff. Ooh, he might have got half a yard. Nice tackle by Jalen Simpson. We had the first ever Senior Bowl trade today as Braden Fisk, the defensive lineman from Florida State, switched from the American team to the national team. They had a deficit at defensive tackle over there, so it helped out. For once, my game is ahead of yours. Hey, that's good, Doug. Yeah, this isn't one. I don't really even care who wins the game. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Vidal. Where is the 1 second? Let me pull up my full roster. Wish I had a roster card up. That would be the best. Have a roster for all you guys. Yeah, that's Vidal, kid from UConn. Yeah, Christian Haynes. No, I'm not in Indy. I was down in this was down in Mobile, Alabama. Will Wright is down there for the game still. I did not stay for the game. I just wanted to watch practice. Took in so much from practice this week. I figured I don't know if JPJ actually had a hamstring injury. I'm not gonna comment on rumors like that, but he played so well this week. I never expected him to play in the game. He dominated all week. I didn't think he had any reason to go out there for the game. It looks like the same with Michael Penix Jr., the Washington quarterback. He also was not playing. Bo Nix is playing though, so we got a stud quarterback out there. Spencer Radler has looked pretty good. I can't find a box score on ESPN. So if you guys see on my screen here, I have sportingnews.com has a live box score up for the Senior Bowl. CC found this for me. The only one I could find. Man, CD, we're not even to the Super Bowl yet. I feel like it's going fast. Like our season ended and then boom, 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 boom. Senior Bowl was here. It was like, oh wow. Oh yeah, I figured. I figured. No, that's good to know, Doug. I didn't read that. I haven't seen any updates on anyone why they're not playing, but I just figured he wouldn't be playing today. I was never expecting to see him out there. But a good point. Whoever just mentioned the kid from UConn, the guard, Christian Haynes. He played a lot of center this week as well. He looked really good. I like that kid. Man, I have the mini camp dates somewhere, but I don't have them off the top of my head. My brain is mush. Scouting over 100 players all week, trying to watch every single play. I'm mush right now. Play action rollout. Bo Nix. Oh, throws across his body. That's a touchdown to span forward the Minnesota tight end. I like how he threw that back. Tie game here, 7-7, baby. Well, 7-6, but extra point pending. Nice throw from Nix. Good job, Bo. I wanted to see Bo play better today. He honestly had a disappointing week overall, but good coverage by the defense there, too. They had 3 guys cover that flat. You don't see 3 guys cover a flat route like that. They took that away. Gus, I don't personally want either of those quarterbacks, but I personally want Marvin Harrison Jr. That's my guy. But like I've said many a times, I'm not one of those people that thinks I'm smarter than Ryan Poles. I think Ryan Poles is probably the best GM we've had in a long time. Joe Milton entering the game at quarterback. I'm not going to spend this whole day talking about Caleb and Justin, though. I'll mention this briefly just to get it out of the way because I know that's all people want to talk about. But I'm focused on scouting the NFL draft. I mean, pretty much every other Bears channel out there is probably talking about Caleb Williams. So you can get that coverage all over. I actually will have a video coming on the rumor that hit this week, but I want Justin Fields. I want Marvin Harrison Jr., but whatever Ryan Poles does, I have faith in the guy. He's intelligent GM that builds through the NFL draft, and that's what I love. Here comes Joe Milton checking in. He had an interesting week down there. Drop back. He's got time. A little bit of pressure from look like Tyler Davis up the middle. Oh, gonna get sacked. Look like Mustafa. Nope, Marshawn Nealon and Ulafoshio. I just went live a couple minutes ago. All right, 2nd and 19. Nealon had a good week as well. Going to be a draw up the middle. Oh, plenty of room. I'm still trying to get my bearings to see who played. I'm not sure all the players who missed the game. Hoping Cam Kinchens is out there. Yeah, this Bailey, this TCU running back. I didn't pay as much attention to running backs this week. I'll be honest. Running backs and tight ends during practice. Of course, I saw them. I watched as much practice as I could. Good scramble up the middle for the first down by Joe Milton there. Laube, I think is the New Mexico, the dude from New Mexico. He was on fire, and Marshawn Lloyd, the USC running back, was killer. But this TCU guy, all game right now. Now he's going to catch one out in the flat. Nice little move for 6 or 7. Oh, really? Yes. Yes. Poles has drafted players from the Senior Bowl every year. We got 5 last year. He drafted 4, brought in 1 from an undrafted free agency. I do not think Deontay Foreman resigns with us. Imani Bailey, TCU running back. Great start to this game. We also got more coaches down there, and to be fair, Poles was the GM I saw more than anyone at the Senior Bowl, walking the sidelines. He watched all of the offensive line, D line, 1v1s up close. Ian Cunningham was right there with them. They watched the wide receiver cornerback 1v1s. They were scouting. Mike Tomlin was there. There was, I mean, probably all the GMs were there, but a lot of them are up in the skybox watching from up top. Poles is on that sideline. Oh, yeah, I might have to refresh this tracker. It doesn't seem to be keeping up here. Call back. Little pass out to the tight end, Senate. Senate had a good week. Yeah, Russell, tell him. Darnell Wright. I mean, Darnell Wright was the guy last year that went from potential second round pick, moved all the way up to be. We took him first round, number 9 overall. Have to love that. I love guys that scout the Senior Bowl. I think the Senior Bowl is Jim Nagy organizes one of the best events out there. It was clear this week. You could just see down there the organization they have, the time he puts into scouting and bringing these guys in. 3rd and inches here. 7-7 game. I got a lot of guys to say bear down too. I think 1 or 2 guys didn't say it out of everybody I interviewed, or that I didn't or that I asked at least. Here we go. Joe Milton drops back under pressure. Oh, he breaks the sack. He's looking. Oh, wow. He was looking deep. And it looked like he kind of tried to no look throw that to Imani Bailey in the flat. And that pass had no accuracy. That's a little bit of what we saw from Joe Milton all week. A lot of a lot of potential. You see a little bit of flashes, but overall he can't put stuff together. He's having some struggles with it. Talking with Kerry Joseph on the sideline there, though. That's Bears' new quarterback coach was down here developing quarterbacks the whole week. Gotta love the work he's done on this American team. Yeah, 10, 10. Yeah, you're right, Dobbsy. You guys know what I meant. You know what I meant. We were at 9, traded down, got that 4th rounder, took him at 10. Jalen Carter went at 9. Ooh, was Kinchins out there? It's probably James Williams, I would guess, CD. They have their other safety here from Miami, James Williams. He plays linebacker too. Yeah, I'm at home. I have my guy Will Wright is down at the game. I did not stay for the game. I watched all the practices, went to the media day. I sound weird? Hmm. I don't know what that means. You guys think I sound weird? Like you screaming through a cell phone. Sam Hartman deep. Kez Walker with a drop. Let me see. No sound okay, loud and clear? You sound good, bro? CC, you tripping. Just kidding. You sound a little like you're talking into a phone mic from 3 feet away. Okay, see, Doug says it too. Let me check my sound settings. Give me a second. Got the Yeti on. It's using my right mic. I wonder if any of the settings changed on it. It's definitely using my right mic. My voice is a little weird, possibly. I was talking a lot and yelling this week. Uh, sometimes I think Poles listens to Swift. How are the grits? Hey, all the food in down in Mobile is good. It's clipping off the high end. Okay. I might have the volume too loud, maybe. Hartman incomplete on another deep shot. Drop from Tez Walker is a little concerning because it's something we saw all week long. Tez has a lot of speed, route running really well, but he dropped a lot of passes. Let me check something. Sam Hartman, 3rd and 10, drop. He's throwing deep again. This looks like it could be picked. That Javon Bullard in covered? No, that's Smith. Yeah, that might just be my computer. Oh, he is 24. Yep. Hey, good eye, CD. Love it, man. Josh Proctor out there in coverage. They had this place in we went to this place in Mobile called Dreamland. It was a barbecue place. They brought out like just regular white bread and cups of barbecue sauce to dip it in. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is my kind of place." No, it's all good. Oh, really? I like if people if I'm having any kind of sound issues, I think it's possibly just struggling a bit. I had too much stuff open. I can't talk now. I had too much stuff open on my computer. I have like all these files open, all my Senior Bowl footage. I have like 15 Chrome tabs I was trying to locate a better box score for this game. For some reason I can't find I always use ESPN for box scores, and for some reason they don't have a box score for this Senior Bowl, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, let me close a couple things. I have too much open. I have actually invested in a new computer, and I'm not using it yet because I'm waiting until I move. But I have a new computer. This one is on its last leg, probably. I've the amount of videos I've made over 1,000 videos just on YouTube on this, and like recorded probably 1,000 hours worth of stuff. This computer's been through a lot. I'm not really rooting for anyone in the Senior Bowl today. Just kind of, um, I just want to see players stand out. I want to see some guys stand out. I'm hoping some of the guys who didn't have great weeks in practice can have good games. Yeah, Doug, if anybody's talking about that Colin Cowherd stuff, I'll actually have a video coming out on that and a couple of the other rumors that happened this week. There's also people talking about Shane Waldron is overrated and Seahawks fans are glad he's gone. So I'm going to kill a couple of narratives after the Senior Bowl today. I'll have that video out a couple hours later. I'm looking at all the wide receivers, B-Shep. Honestly, this wide receiver class is stacked on both sides of the ball. I can go through some of the guys I like on each team. On the national team, literally, it's almost everybody. Tez Walker from North Carolina, Roman Wilson from Michigan, Ricky Pearsall from Florida, Javon Baker from Central Florida, Brendan Rice from USC, Jacob Cowing from Arizona, and Luke McCaffrey from Rice. Every single receiver on the national team looked like a baller to me. Now, some of them had some struggles this week, but they all look like NFL wide receivers that should be gone by at least the third or fourth round of the draft. The national team's wide receivers are just stacked. And then on the American team, they're not quite as stacked. I like Xavier Legette, Lad McConkey's awesome. Johnny Wilson struggled. And then they had some struggles from the lower half of the roster. But on the national side, whew, you can watch every single wide receiver out there because they're stacked. I will say this. I talked to multiple people who think other teams are putting together packages for the number one pick. Yes, he is related to Christian McCaffrey, and I did get him to say bear down. Yeah, he's the Rice wide receiver. Yep. He was popular down there. Everyone was trying to talk to McCaffrey, so I didn't actually talk to him much because he wasn't one of the guys I really, really wanted to talk to, but especially since he was so popular, I didn't want to waste too much time on it. But I did talk to him briefly. I hope Bo Nix comes back out and plays. I need to see him more. Oh, yo, Plank, have a good time, man. I hope he finds something he likes. Enjoy, my man. Yeah, that's the thing we'll be discussing there, Cliff. You know exactly. I don't want to talk too much about that today. I just want to watch the Senior Bowl, but I will have a video coming out on that in a couple hours for sure. Joe Milton, hey, nice pass to the outside. Jamari Thrash, the Louisville wide receiver. He was up and down this week. I like Thrash. I expected a little bit more of him, but another guy I like. I mean, the Raiders. I'll talk. Hey, anything you guys want to talk about, I'll talk about a little bit. But I'm mainly just focused on the Senior Bowl today. But the Raiders I can't talk. The Raiders hiring Cliff Kingsbury. That it's not nothing. I'll say that. Oh, Joe Milton, nice pass on the sideline to Jaheim Bell, the tight end from Florida State. Big catch, takes a hit, holds on to it. I like Jaheim Bell. He has Josh Proctor in coverage all over him. Safety, I like. Oh, picks. Hey, Immortal, I like that one. Oh, picks, baby. Yeah, we're definitely never get all the good players, but we want to get as many as we can. Joe Milton, handoff. There goes Cody Schrader for about 4 or 5. Honestly, Pedro, that's why I wanted to watch Cam in the game. Um, safeties are safeties, running backs are probably the hardest to judge at Senior Bowl practices because it's not full contact. You're not tackling, so sometimes the running backs will run through the arm tackles, and it looks like they're still going, but they really would have been tackled. I love Cam. I think he had a great week. Talking to him is great. No, it wasn't his head coach. It was offensive coordinator. If I said head coach, I don't know what I was saying. Oh, he withdrew his name from the Raiders, from the OC position. Is that what you guys are saying? I haven't been on Twitter today, so if that happened, I missed it. I don't think I've even opened Twitter today. The last few years draft classes have been really deep due to COVID and having extra years of eligibility. I think this year is more top heavy. There's a lot of talent at the top of this draft. Let me check into this with Kingsbury. Withdraws from consideration for OC job 55 minutes ago. Okay. Huh. After being announced that he was expected to be hired, he's gonna withdraw his name from consideration. That's interesting. He is not the OC, it seems like. Yeah, it just happened an hour ago. Cliff Kingsbury out in Oakland. That's interesting. Well, more to come on that, guys. This offseason is just getting underway. Joe Milton putting together a pretty good drive here. 1st and 10 at the 30. He's going to take off. Oh, no, he's going to throw it. Picked off. Wow. You don't throw across your body like that, Joe. Intercepted. Evan Williams. Joe had a lane there. I don't know why he ran, or I don't know why he didn't run. Oregon safety Evan Williams with the interception. Nice job jumping that route. Joe Milton tries to force one in there across his body. I don't think anything means anything that serious in the Caleb sweepstakes. I think people overreact to everything, but I mean, if you got a guy wide open, I don't mind the crossbody pass if you got the arm strength for it. But that was over the middle of the field. You have to know there's a safety lingering there somewhere. Hey, the Oregon State kid, Tali Fuaga, man, I went up to him. Like some of the players I would go up to, and I was like, hey, these guys aren't much bigger than me. Some of them I'm the same size as, especially the cornerbacks. I'm like, hey, we're the same size, man. But when I went up to Fuaga, bro, he was like a literal bear. And he just like he dapped it up with me and like hugged me. And like he could have just picked me up with one arm and probably carried me off. Like I was like, oh Fuaga, what's up, big dog? Hey, Fuaga also, hey, first he said he loves pancakes. Second, he said not only would he play left tackle, left guard, right guard, or center. But you guys want to know what Tali Fuaga actually said? He would love to come in here and play right guard next to Darnell Wright and make the nastiest right side of an offensive line in the NFL. That's something Fuaga said, just so people know. So, hey, he might be looked at as a left tackle. He could play left guard. He could play right guard. And he'd actually like to play next to Darnell Wright. So, something to keep an eye on going forward, too. I would like to improve this offensive line. All right, look at Evan Williams. He starts up 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Hey, good to see you, Q. You watching from a flight? He's on a flight. I thought he said. Where's Evan at? Oh, he comes from all the way across. He was open. That running back was open. Joe Milton was just way late. He was way late. I like Zach Frazier, Pedro. He will not be playing today. I did get to talk to Zach Frazier. Um, he came and did he was down there for the individual drills. He did interviews. I talked to him a little bit as well. I like the dude. I wish he was healthy enough to play, but right now he's just not there yet. So I want to keep watching this tape and I'll check him out at the combine as well. But I like Zach Frazier. Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman is in the game for the national team here. Backed all the way up to their 4 yard line, 96 yards away, 2nd and 11. Play action. Oh, ball knocked down. Defensive lineman Sermon from Cal knocked that down. That could have been intercepted. Oh man, linebacker, my bad. I think Fuaga could play anywhere. I think center is, I'd rather play him at guard or tackle. Sam Hartman trying to scramble for the first down, and Sermon is gonna bring him down again, making another play. Yeah, Pedro, I agree with that. I think Nate Davis could be replaced within the next year. We can get out of his contract next year. I think Nate Davis is gonna be on this team one more time. I don't I try not to be too hard on Nate Davis. He had a bad year. I'm gonna agree with that. Nate Davis had a bad year, but he had a lot of stuff going on, switched to a new team, he got injured. I think Nate Davis is still a good player, so I'm not gonna write him off, but I do think we improved this offensive line. Hey, Barry, I'd rather go with Fuaga right there at number 9, to be honest. But Jackson Powers Johnson's the best center in this class, hands down. Oh, short punt. Aeneas Williams got some room here. Aeneas Smith, I'm sorry. Aeneas Williams is an old player. That's me showing my age. Oh, that's Doug. I think I would probably go with the latter option there. Now, let me explain why. I think they would probably do the opposite because, hey, let's just go ahead and keep Tev at left side. But I would put Tev next to Darnell Wright, and I would put Fuaga at left guard. That way, if Braxton struggles at left tackle, all Fuaga has to do is take a step over from left guard to left tackle. I'd want to keep him on the left side with the contingency plan to play him at left tackle if something happens to Braxton. That's what I would do. JPJ, I would take him at like pick 15 to 18. I honestly think he could go somewhere between I think the Bengals could take him at pick 19. I think he's that good. I haven't looked into what other teams really need centers, but when I was looking at the Bengals draft needs and how good he is, and they're picking at 19, that's a spot he could go. So I wouldn't be opposed to trading down and taking him somewhere between 15 and 18 at the earliest. I don't think he's going to go much higher than that as a center. But hey, this is another thing. We've seen how high guards can go, right? He can play guard as well. Hey, Dobbsy remembers Aeneas Williams. Thank you, my man. Hey, Ron. Hey, Ron Winarski. Appreciate you for the membership, my man. I am not 25. I'm a decade or so older than 25, but we won't get into that. If you guys think I look 25, I will take it. Is Cliff King I can't talk. If is Cliff Kingsbury now I can't talk at all, guys. My voice is gone. Is Kingsbury to the Commanders? Is that a real thing or is that just a rumor you're bringing up? Aeneas Williams, yep, Cardinals legend. That's what he reminds me of. His first name's Aeneas, and he's a little fast dude like that, Aeneas Smith. Ooh, Tampa Bay's in the mix. I got you. It's a rumor right now. Okay. I think Miami could potentially bring Connor Williams back. Yeah, I saw that about the Raiders OC job, but I didn't know about Washington. Amani Bailey is getting work on this American team. Hey, they're talking to Jim Nagy. Game is on NFL Network. Anybody looking for the live stream? Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury backed out of the Raiders OC job. I'm wondering if he's really interested in the Commanders OC job or if he's just not taking it anywhere. Oh, no. Somebody commented they think Darius Robinson is Will McDonald. Mm, no, I think Darius Robinson's got power, man. Yeah, I was glad we didn't hire Kingsbury, guys. I'm a Shane Waldron fan. I think we got the best OC on the market. Yes, is that I don't know how to say your name there. Rogelio Garcia. Yes, I'll support whatever decision Ryan Poles makes. I mean, I'm a Bears fan first. I've been here through multiple quarterbacks. I give my opinion, but no decision the Bears make will ever make me not be a fan. I'm attached to this team. I bleed blue and orange. Like if I if there was going to be a decision that was going to make me leave the team, it would have happened years and years ago. Something like what was that? Taking Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. That would have been one right there. There's nothing they can do to make me not root for the team. But I just I just have questions about Caleb Williams. I think he could be a really good player, but I think people are too concerned with the recency bias, making it a copycat league and trying to compare him to Patrick Mahomes. I think he's more comparable to Kyler Murray than Patrick Mahomes. That's my biggest takeaway. This is a deep field goal. That's wide. That's shanked. Wait, doink. Not a doink. Oh man, that one had some leg on it though. That was Will Reichert, the Alabama kicker. That's this year's big time kicker. It looked wide right, and then it hooked back in right into the goalpost. Game stays tied at 7. He's Russell Wilson or Kyler Murray. Yeah, and that's just it. I don't. Kyler Murray's a really good player. Russell Wilson's a really good player, but people are just kind of accepting this narrative that he is going to be the next Mahomes. I've heard people just say, "How can you just pass up a guaranteed Hall of Famer?" People really say guaranteed Hall of Famer. I'm like, what? Where do you what? If there's a player that's even close to a guaranteed Hall of Famer, and let me be clear, nobody is a guaranteed Hall of Famer. But like if you had to bet money and you're like, hey, I gotta bet money on a player whether or not he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Blue just said it. Yeah, there is one player in this draft that I think has a great chance to be a future Hall of Famer before he's taken a snap. And that's crazy expectations to put on a player. But that guy's Marvin Harrison Jr. to me. Trying to say that about Caleb Williams is nah. He's a risk. No matter what anyone says, all quarterbacks are a risk. But hey, that's just what it is. If Poles makes that decision, I will always accept it. Blake Corum is a tough running back, man. Anybody who hasn't watched Michigan football, he's not a guy who was at the Senior Bowl, but that is a tough, hard-nosed running back for sure. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I said. No player's ever a guaranteed Hall of Famer. There's no such thing. But I said if there was one that was closest in this year's class, trying to complete the analogy that people are making, then it would be Marvin, not Caleb, is all I'm saying. Kicking into the second quarter here, a 7-7 game. Yeah, hey, that's underrated there. Blue just said it. Something that happened this week that hasn't been talked about enough is the decision for Ian Cunningham to return and stay with the Chicago Bears for one more year. And possibly the biggest offseason in Chicago Bears history. This is big. Cody Schrader's looked pretty good, to be honest. I mentioned it earlier. Running backs are hard to judge out here. Dylan, is it Laube? Labe? Dylan Labe is the guy who impressed me the most at running back. Him and Marshawn Lloyd. Lloyd had a huge week. Oh, Hartman, he was open. Oh man, Penn State tight end Johnson was wide open right there, and Hartman just put it way. This has been the kind of the story of the week. A lot of great play designs, wide receivers streaking downfield open, but quarterback play has been down, even with Bo Nix and Washington's QB Michael Penix Jr. down there, who's not playing in the game. Still, lot of bad play at quarterback this week. I don't think a running back goes in the first round, Flex Diggs. Possibly second round, definitely by round 3. Yeah, I like Trey Benson a lot. Hey, the Shy, I see your question there. Thoughts on Tez Walker? Really good player. I love his size, his catch radius. He has great speed. I thought he was a really good route runner this week. I'm not a guy who's going to overblow or make a bigger deal of his drops. He had a few drops this week, but it is starting to become a concern for me. He had a few drops all week. He dropped probably one pass in every practice this week, and then he's already dropped a pass in this game. That happens sometimes. Jamar Chase dropped a ton of passes in training camp the year he got drafted, but if it continues, it could be a problem for Tez Walker. I like this kid, though, a lot. The guy who just caught that ball over the middle there, Javon Baker. Watch his route. Whoop! Cuts open, finds his space right in the zone right there, makes the catch, gets down without getting hit. I like Javon Baker. He's got a lot of confidence as well. I talked to him multiple times. Yeah, we have Herbert for one more year, guys. Herbert has one more year on his contract. We got Roshan for 3 more years. I still think we might take a running back this year, though. Marvin Harrison Jr. was not there. He will be at the combine in Indy next month. Hey, is that right? Oh no, I thought that was Rice. Hey, there's Dylan Laube right there. This guy had a big week from New Hampshire. I hadn't really ever studied. He can flat out fly. Ran over 21 miles an hour. CD, I'm not sure if I'm going to be at the combine or not yet. I'm working on getting media credentials. If I can get on the sideline and not have last year I worked it from the stands, and honestly, I can see more sitting at home watching on TV than I could from the stands at the combine last year. So if I don't get a media pass, I'm not going. I'll probably watch from home because you can see more, especially on NFL Plus. But to be determined. Indy's not far away either. What I really hope we do this year is joint practices with the Colts again. That's a good point there, Echo, as well. They're 3rd and 3 inside the 30-yard line. Game is here we go. Oh, Hartman kept it. He fooled the cameraman. He's going to run it for himself for a first down to the 2-minute warning. That was the cameraman followed the running back. Brought down by Alabama's Chris Braswell there, another guy I talked to, one of the elite edge rushers in this year's class that doesn't get talked about very much. I like Braswell. Very, very humble guy, well spoken, but he has a ton of explosiveness. Yeah, the cameraman got faked out hard on that one. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, those are always the best, man. I think what it's going to come down to with the running back, for the people still talking about when a running back goes first, a running back will have to run really well in the combine. Mixed fact, he is not. Washington's quarterback is not playing today. He probably had the best week of practice of any quarterback or of any quarterback out there, but he decided to not play. Oh, so Liam Cohen is not going back to Kentucky. He took the Bucks offensive coordinator job. Q, I appreciate that, man. What free agent wide receiver do I think the Bears should pursue? I honestly, Unless T. Higgins or Michael Pittman are free agent or get out there, I probably wouldn't go into free agency when it comes to a wide receiver. Maybe a cheaper guy like Kendrick Bourne or something, someone who could play in the slot. That wouldn't be bad. In fact, yeah, Spencer Rattler played the first drive of the game, threw a touchdown pass. I don't think he's been in since then. They switched. I think he might have played the second drive, but since then it's been Joe Milton for the American team. Rattler's on the American team. Yeah, I think this year is such a special year for wide receivers in the draft. I think you draft 2 wide receivers. I don't really care where you draft them. I mean, obviously, you guys know I want Marvin Harrison Jr. I love Rome Odunze. I love Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Keon Coleman. There's a ton of wide receivers in this draft I like, but I think you got to take 2. When the draft is over, we need two receivers from this draft. Give me a Javon Baker or a Brendan Rice or a Tez Walker to go around with one of those first round picks. I like probably 20 wide receivers in this draft better than Curtis Samuel. But hey, if he wants to come here cheap, not a bad guy. He knows DJ very well and he's got a ton of speed. Yeah, also hopefully new wide receiver coach can get something from Vegas, but I'm not holding my breath on that. 1st and 10, 2-minute warning here. National team is driving with Sam Hartman. I like Roman Wilson too. Roman Wilson had the catch of the week, one-handed catch. Oh, nice pass from Sam Hartman. Dang. It hit Varner, the Michigan tight end. It hit him in the hand. He could not come down with it. Took a hit from the safety there. Nice pass there from Hartman, though. That was not a bad pass. Hey, Richard, I heard that, man. I think so, Matt. I think so, but I mean, hey, still a long off season to go. We don't even know how tall Caleb Williams is, so people are a little too wild there. Former Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury, who was close to becoming the Raiders' offensive coordinator, is a leading candidate who becomes the Commanders' offensive coordinator. That tells me the Commanders are way more likely to get Caleb than the Raiders, which is pretty obvious anyway since they picked number 2. Yeah, Bayless is pretty much done. Hey, here's McCaffrey in the game from Rice. Yeah, this offseason is going to be wild, man. Yeah, he removed himself from consideration for the Raiders, but is apparently the leading candidate now to land the Commanders' job. McCaffrey in the slot, 3rd and 5. Sam Hartman. He hands it. Oh, no, play. He fooled the cameraman again. And for the second time of the game, Tez Walker is going to have a ball hit him in the hands and not come down with it. This might have been pass interference here. Not really. Pritchett definitely made a little bit of contact with him, but Tez, man, I had a lot of. I ain't even gonna say the. I'm not gonna say the vibes I got from him on that play right there. I'm not gonna say the name. I'm not gonna say it. I had. I will say this. I had higher hopes for Tez Walker this week. I'm not one of those guys who's really down on him. Like, oh man, another missed field goal, and the game stays tied at 7 again. No, it was a. Hey, no worries, Cliff. No worries, Cliff. I'm not really worried about like who wins or loses the game. I'm just watching this for fun. It was a former. All right, if you guys can guess the wide receiver, I'll give it to you. It was a former Bears wide receiver, 1st round pick from a long time ago, not a recent one, not one that got hurt. It's been a while, at least 15, 20 years. That's all I'm giving you. Joshua Carty missed the field goal on that, the Stanford kicker. Should I refresh? Maybe I should refresh my YouTube TV. Oh shoot. All right, I refreshed up. Not Moose. He was not drafted by the Bears. No. Marcus Harris. Yeah, I got some notes on him, but I don't remember off top. Hey, McFact said it. You guys look up the name that McFact said. It was David Terrell. Yeah, that's it. There we go. You guys got it. It was David Terrell. That's the one. I saw some vibes there, bro. He didn't come down with the ball, and then he's complaining for pass interference, and it's like, bro, he barely touched you. Like, how about you just make that catch, man? Just make that catch, man. Oh, is that a fumbled snap? Nationals. The national team is going to take the ball over here on a fumbled snap. Michael Pratt from Tulane fumbles the snap. Christian Haynes is the center there. This is the guy I was talking about. He's the UConn guard. He played some center this week. The snap looked fine. It looked like Michael Pratt just didn't handle it right. You bet on the national team? If I was going to bet on a team, I definitely would have bet on the national team. Their team was stacked compared to American. But the problem is, I didn't think Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr. would play much. So it's like, maybe I'll bet on the. I didn't bet though. I'm not betting on this. Hartman has another chance, and he's going to throw an interception on the first pass. Oh, is that Bradley? He's still going. Wow. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. He had a huge week, by the way. Brownlee was making plays out there. Turnovers on back-to-back plays after the second straight missed field goal. Hey, Brownlee, baby. What a play. Sam Hartman is looking awful, though. Yeah, I told you guys about this quarterback play. I told you guys about the quarterback play. It's not great. Make it rain, Brownlee. Maybe I should wash my hands. Maybe that's how we get points today. Jarvis Brownlee's definitely a trash talker. All right, and now the American team is back. Michael Pratt's going to get another chance here. I'm going to watch Christian Haynes at center here. Good snap. Pratt's going to dump it off over the middle. Not much there. 20 seconds left. We're getting close to halftime. Schrader had a short catch over the middle. Gray brought him down. 14 seconds left. One more play maybe here for Michael Pratt. He's winding up. Nope, he's going to throw it underneath the Schrader again. And that should take us to halftime here. But he did cross over into national territory. They tried to get up and spike the ball, but not enough time. He had to take a shot down the sideline there. That's just if you really wanted to come up there and take another shot, you got to throw it to the sideline and get out of bounds. He threw it over the middle, clock running. Just not a great play there. We're going to halftime 7-7. Both teams start out with a touchdown drive early, and then both offenses go stagnant after Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler come out of the game. There's a rumor going around. Swifty got escorted out of Pole's hotel by security. I have no comment on that, Mikey. I got no comment. No comment. Where are all those Bo Nix with our ninth pick fans? Oh, wait, people said that? Uh, I think Bo Nix is a first round pick, probably, but he has not looked like one so far this week. I'd like to see him play more in this game, to be honest. Got to know who the quarterbacks are. I really want our trenches to be better here. I need to see more from Javon Baker and Malachi. You mentioned another great player that I haven't talked about today, but was one of the guys I really was excited to see this week. Loved talking to him, and is a guy who, if you're looking for a wide receiver to watch, Malachi Corley, Western Kentucky, kid is a baller, and Javon Baker as well. But this whole wide receivers down here, that were down there in Mobile, Alabama. I'm not down there anymore, but part of me still is. Actually, let me put on my credentials real quick. Let me make myself feel like hold on. All right, you guys hear that? My credentials, okay? I'm gonna put them on. All right, I'm back down in Mobile. Okay, this makes it feel more real. Okay, but Malachi Corley, he's a dog. He's got some Debo in him. Too many people are saying it, but that guy, he runs like a running back. Who would you say is this year's Puka Nakua? A fifth round pick that leads the team to the playoffs. That's a crazy projection to make. If you're talking about a guy like Puka Nakua, who at the Senior Bowl looked really, really good and is probably a bit overlooked, it's probably literally one of those two players I was just talking about, either Javon Baker or Malachi Corley. Another option would be Arizona's Jacob Cowing. People are comparing him to Tank Dell, but Jacob Cowing was electric. He looked like a killer slot receiver this year. So gotta give Jacob Cowing some love as well. I'm going to step away to wash my hands. I will play a quick 30-second clip of me from the Senior Bowl just so you guys can see me live down there. I will be right back. Swift Sports live on the scene in Mobile, Alabama at the Senior Bowl. We just finished up wrapping up day 2 here, and there's such an incredible amount of talent on the field. I have so much content on the way for you guys. I'm so excited. This year's draft's going to be special, and it's the biggest offseason in Chicago Bears history. I appreciate everyone so much for watching. Hit that like button for me, and until next time, bear down. Wait, we're talking about this year's Brock Purdy? There's only been a Brock Purdy like once. I don't know if we're gonna have a Brock Purdy. Chicago is on the clock when it comes to the NFL draft, though. Best safety, that's Cam Kinchens to me. Cam Kinchens is a guy. I think he's a leader. I think he's a guy who can play the run. He can play the pass. He can play free safety or strong safety. And it's answering the question of what Richard just asked as well when I'm already talking about it. But Cam Kinchens is probably the best guy who can come in and be a potential Bojack replacement. He's not afraid to tackle. He's a leader. I love everything I saw from Cam Kinchens. He's confident, and I love talking to him as well. Timer is started from Swifty getting an offer from a big site or network. What kind of offer, bro? I mean, if they talking millions, we'll talk about it. Just kidding. I'm just joking. Eddie's going to be gone. I think I will discuss this during halftime. Let's talk about Eddie Jackson for a second here. I know a lot of people have already written it up. They think Eddie Jackson is gone this year because we can save some money by cutting him. I think there's definitely a chance Eddie Jackson is back this year. He's a leader of the secondary. He is probably past his prime, and we could probably replace him. But I think it's also likely with how good our secondary is, we might wait another year to do that. It's 50-50 right now. I think there's still a chance he comes back. Now, Cody Whitehair, he's gone. I don't think there's any chance Cody Whitehair is back. I think we're in a decent position at running back, Jinx. Khalil Herbert is a good player. I think Chad Morton is going to help him become a better run blocker. I think Roshan Johnson is a really good player. I think Roshan could be a 3-down starter. But I still think we draft a running back. We probably are still going to draft a running back this year. I don't know how early it is. Hey, oh, really? I'll see you later, bro. Brock Bowers? It'd be high to take a tight end that early. Cedric Estime or Austin Estime, the dude from Notre Dame. I think it's Austin, isn't it? I'm not sure. All those guys looked good. Q. Guyton had a really good day. Morgan looked really good. He had the size. Paul was probably the biggest dude there. And Kingsley would like dominate a rep, but then he would lose a rep. And then he would dominate a rep, and then he would look pretty good on a rep, and then he would lose another rep. It was up and down. And honestly, some of them, even when they win, you can't tell if they hold or not. There's still a lot I got to go back and study on the offensive line. I paid more attention to the wide receivers and certain guys on the offensive line. I really studied hard, but certain ones I don't want to give a false report on. Guyton definitely looked pretty good. Morgan looked pretty good, but Paul and Kingsley, I have to go back and rewatch some of those reps to really have a idea of how well their week went. You don't think Eddie will take a pay cut? I think it's possible. I mean, he's been here. He's played his whole career here. He definitely probably loves playing with Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tyreek Stevenson, like all these young bucks. Now he's got Montez Sweat too, and finally could win some games in Chicago. So I think Eddie might want to stay, and he probably sees what we're building. I remember Eberflus talked about him as one of the first guys that really bought into the hits principle. He really bought into it and was a guy who was a leader, basically, showing these young guys what it means for the hits principle. So I could see it. I just think it's 50-50. I can't write it off either way right now. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, he's gone." And I'm like, I don't necessarily know that that's true yet. It could happen, definitely. He could be gone, but he could potentially be back as well. Ooh, throw in Velus Jones in the cut list. The problem with that is where we set right now. Here's who we have at wide receiver. We have DJ Moore, Tyler Scott, Velus Jones Jr. That's it as far as under contract. So we'd have to bring in a lot of wide receivers to cut Velus. I think he sticks around as our 5th wide receiver pretty much no matter what. Mark, to answer your question, yes and yes, or yes and maybe. I would definitely offer Tev an incentive-laden contract. I hope Poles will. I don't know, though. I don't pretend to know. I think he will, but it's definitely possible that he's waiting to see what Tev does this year. But I think it was clear when I watched the tape last year that Tevin just was our best lineman when he's on the field. Doug, I'm 100% with that, but we don't need to cut Patrick. He's gone. Lucas Patrick is gone. We only had him for a 2-year deal. That 2-year deal is gone. I don't think we're going to give Lucas Patrick any more money. So no, I disagree with that one, Evie. I think Lucas Patrick is gone. Considering his contract is up, I don't see him coming back unless he signs for something real cheap. I mean, if Lucas Patrick wants to come back for like less than $1 million for 1 year, all right, I guess. Like, especially if it's not guaranteed as a 9th or 10th lineman. But yeah, I don't see them paying him anywhere near what they signed him for the last 2 years, which was like $4.5 million a year. No, I think we'll probably sign a veteran center. I would hope. I hope we sign a cheaper veteran center, possibly even the guy from the Panthers, or the Seahawks. I mean, was it? Where was it? The guy that was the backup center for the Seahawks, Evan Brown, I think, and then draft somebody. That's probably the best. Oh. I would like to keep Deontay Foreman. I agree with that, A-Rod. I don't think Foreman wants to come back. Curious what you meant on the Sweat Bo Limmer rep was unfair. Q, nobody going one-on-one with T'Vondre Sweat was really fair. I mean, he's an absolute monster. I don't think Bo Limmer was, and on top of that, I think people act like, I mean, it was one rep. Bo Limmer also held his own against T'Vondre Sweat and others on a ton of reps one-on-one. I thought Bo Limmer had a really good week. I don't think he was the best player out there at all, but I think he definitely improved my opinion on him. He's a fighter. He's smart. He was taking reps at guard and center, and he battles. Even after losing that rep versus T'Vondre Sweat, I mean, he came right back and wanted to take. A lot of guys look like they didn't want to go against T'Vondre Sweat one-on-one. Like, nah, nah, we don't want to go against that dude one-on-one. But hey, he was right there. Like, hey, put me in. I want that guy. Like, hey, all right, you want to go against T'Vondre Sweat one-on-one? And he did. He won a few. He won quite a few of his fair share of reps too. So I think people just kind of overhype single reps, especially when it comes to Twitter. They'll see one rep and like, oh, even one of Tali Fuaga's reps. Tali Fuaga had one of the best weeks of anyone I watched. But the clip I saw that someone sent me on Twitter that everyone was freaking out about, he was actually holding on that one. Like, I was like, well, that's a hold. So it's like, I just don't pay attention. I've stayed off Twitter pretty much all week, and I've loved it. I missed a lot of Caleb Williams drama, and I'm missing most of these people overrating single reps from practice. Practice is 3 long days of practice. Like, it was a ton of practice. There's so much to digest from all those practices. And those guys went at it, especially in the trenches and the wide receiver cornerbacks. Like, these guys were there to compete. The what is the word I'm looking for? The atmosphere and like how into it, even the guys, like when they weren't, the guys not doing the reps, they were watching intently because they wanted to see this next matchup. They wanted to see Brendan Rice versus Quinion Mitchell go against it again. They want to see Tali go up against T'Vondre Sweat again. Like, the teammates around them were hyped, and the weather, probably the most beautiful weather I've been in a while, man. It was 70 degrees, but it felt like it was 90 and I was baking in the sun. My face was red as a tomato. My arms were on fire. I don't ever put on sunscreen because I'm naturally kind of darker skinned and tan easily, basically. But I had to put on sunscreen. I saw this guy Ephraim. Shout out to this guy Ephraim we met down there. Him and Jacob Littner, 2 guys who do scouting as well. And I saw them both loading up on sunscreen. And I was like, you know what? This was day 2 and my face was already red. I was like, you got to hit me with that, bro. I need it. But the weather was incredible. Shout out to Mobile, Alabama, because it was beautiful down there, man. 67. There was a breeze. Like, we'd start out in the morning with jackets on. She said he looked like a tomato. That's messed up. That's kind of messed up. I did kind of look like a tomato. But it was great, though. It was a great time. Yeah, the sun is definitely stronger down there. Cece was like, "How you not gonna put sunscreen on?" And I was like, "I don't ever put sunscreen on." But I got back to the hotel the first night, and my face, like, it was worse on. I gotta if I can get Jacob Littner to send me a picture. Jacob Littner was this guy we met down there. He has a YouTube as well. Shout out to this dude. Shout out to my man Vil from the 3 Point Stands pod as well. If you're not following him, you better do it. But my guy Jacob Littner, because the stadium is north to south, um, he was setting, and one side of his face was completely red and the other was white. So he must have just like been setting completely straight the whole time. And I was like, bro, you gotta like turn your head around or something. Okay, okay. Yeah, I talked to a ton of people, Kiyu. I mean, in particular, like I talked to a ton of people. Like as far as big media guys, a couple off record. I did talk to Clay Harbor, Nicholas Moriano. Who else was down there? There was a ton of people I talked to, like just sitting there. I met several independent scouts. I met some guys who have their own YouTube scouting networks. I met multiple journalists, ton of other content creators, ton of people who just scout though. That was the biggest thing. I was trying to network with other people that do scouting, looking for the people to scout. I didn't eat much while we were down there. We were so busy. I don't even know if we worried about food. So honestly, the only place we really ate at was that Dreamland place. And I got rib tips, fries, beans. It was awesome. I recommend that Dreamland place for sure. Check it out if you go down to Mobile, Alabama. Yeah, I'm not much of a networker usually, but Vil was doing it really well, and I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it a little bit good. Yeah, and that's what people make too much of. Like, I heard someone commented because I tweeted the picture of me and Nicholas Moriano out, and they're like, I don't like CHGO. Why would you? And it's like, we're all content creators out here. And whether or not, even if I didn't like CHGO, like I still like Nicholas Moriano. I think he's a good dude. He's into scouting, and I'm trying to make relationships with other journalists and people in media. And there's too many people out there trying to just tear other people down and start like drama and wars. That's never going to be the kind of guy I am. Even I mean, there were someone commented on one of my tweets and was like, "Hey Swift, all you only like people if they agree with what you say. You wouldn't talk to somebody out there that doesn't like you." And I was like, "Well, actually I talked to Clay Harbor for like an hour and a half and he has me blocked on Twitter. Do you think either of us mentioned that?" I was like, "It's not Twitter. It's real life." And we sat there and talked football. We talked about players we liked on the field. We talked about what we saw from a scouting standpoint. And we actually discussed, we had a heart to heart take on the Justin Fields and Caleb Williams debate as well. I talked to a couple other people who had me blocked on Twitter, and, meet them in person, and you talk to someone in person and you sit down and talk about scouting, and all of a sudden, none of Twitter doesn't matter. Social media is not important. I don't care about social media. So it's never been my thing. But my relationship with other people that scout football, that's what it's all about for me, is football. I'm here to watch football and scout players for the Chicago Bears. And I don't think I'm the smartest person in the world. And I love working with other people who love scouting too. They can always see things that I don't see. I sat down with Chicago Football Connection and Buttkiss Stats, two other Bears content creators out there. They were focused more on offensive line than I was. They were really focused the entire time on offensive line. I was going back and forth between offensive line, wide receiver, cornerbacks, offensive line, wide receiver, cornerbacks. I was running all over the place. Most people there and kind of stay there the whole time and watch what they watch. Me, like every 20 minutes when the whistle blew, they were like, "Whoop," and practice moved around. I was looking for who I wanted to watch, and I was picking up my camera and my tripod, and I was huffing it up and down the sideline all the time. Hoop, hoop, moving up and down, like, "Get out of my way." I was getting there. I was trying to watch everything, though. I mean, there was so much going on down there, and the weather was so nice. It's a lot to take in, but I have so much of it recorded that I'm still kinda going over and rewatching as well. Also was lucky enough to talk to a couple of, Senior Bowl representatives and also had a buddy of mine, I'm not gonna share his name because I don't know if he wants me to, but, gave me his, shared some access with some Senior Bowl practice footage as well that I could watch from home, some all 22 footage, so even more footage than I got myself. I also got some more all 22 footage to watch as well, so I'm gonna dig even deeper into these guys as well going forward. And I like Jaden Simpson a lot. I thought all 3 of the Auburn DBs made plays at times. I talked to all 3 of them at one point or another too. I don't know I don't know how many interviews I got with them. I know I talked to them off record a little bit. Game is finally back on. I was just rambling for a while there during halftime, guys. Sorry. I don't even know what I was talking about, but I was just answering questions and rambling. Game is back on. National team with the ball. 1st and 10. Sam Hartman still in at quarterback. I'd love to see Bo Nix get some more time out here, but it doesn't look like it. Tez Walker and Javon Baker, 2 receivers I really like both out there. Sam Hartman drops back, makes the guy miss, dumps it off to Barner over the middle. Michigan tight end, close to a first down. I did not see Van Pran. I did not see him at all. Should have name dropped me. You should have told me to, Keo. I would have. I actually have that conversation, or my man Bill from the 3 Point Stands pod has that conversation recorded, and I will be releasing that for you guys to see soon, McFact. I don't remember word for word what he said, so I don't want to say anything out of context, but I will be releasing that for you to see. So you guys can see for yourself. He gave it the okay. He's okay with us releasing that. So that will be out at some point. Yeah, I thought someone said Von Prawn was there for meetings. I never saw him myself or met with him. I didn't see him in the media room either, and he definitely didn't practice. But to me, that was a mistake because Jackson Powers Johnson established himself as the best center in the class. JPJ is not playing. He was dominating. Tuesday, I didn't spend a single moment looking at ladies, man. It's not my style. Got a lady. I don't need to be looking at any ladies. I was looking at a bunch of 6'2" to 6'4", 280 to 300-pound men in tights with nothing remotely sexual about it in any way. Pause. How much should you trust your eyes as a scout? At least 80 to 90%. I was strictly business. My mind was I can't even process how much I was trying to, like, watch every single snap of practice and how hard it was and, like, mentally note what I saw. My brain is kinda like a computer sometimes, like, I can I can recall a bunch of things, like, if you ask me about a player, I can kinda close my eyes for a second and remember a bunch of stuff about him from the week, but trying to, like, just remember everything I saw, a ton of it I have recorded too, so what I would do there is when I recorded a practice play, I would also say what I like a piece or a note from that play, and, that way I have it recorded as well. A million tabs open. I always got a million tabs open. My bad, Muck. The Windy City Smokeout. Hey, what? Hey, JD, I just saw. I almost missed that message. What is the Windy City Smokeout, man? I'd be really interested in you sending me more information. Um, I'm a I'm a homebody. I don't know too much. I've never heard of it, but it sounds cool. Windy City Smokeout sounds like some good food. I love cookouts. I'll say that. Sam Hartman. Oh, what a catch from McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey. He was overthrown by Sam Hartman. He reaches out with one hand, snags it, and pulls it in. Woo, woo, what a catch by McCaffrey. Oh, man. All those players' faces were like, this guy actually knows football. I mean, one of the things that I took note of when I'm standing there listening, because a lot of times I would have to listen to a couple other people ask their questions to a player before I got my turn and could jump in and ask a question. So I would not want to ask what if I heard someone else ask a question, I'm not asking anything like it. But what I heard most other people asking were things that I didn't want to know about anyway. Like if it was a USC player, all anyone was doing was asking about Caleb Williams. I'm not asking any player about one of their teammates. But on top of that, like players would ask, who's the player you're most excited to go against in the NFL? Or who's your favorite teammate? Or who's the quarterback you want to sack the most? Like, I mean, those questions. I wanted to know something with their skill set. What particularly did you want to show scouts? And I tried to leave it open ended a bit to kind of let them kind of deviate on their own and kind of go into what they really wanted to show scouts. I love Chicago's barbecue. Who's hating on it? Oh, James Williams with a face mask. I talked to James Williams too. This guy, I love talking to James Williams. Really, really good kid right there. He just wants to play ball. He said it like he said he'll play safety, he'll play linebacker, he'll play special teams. He just wants to get on a team and play ball. I really like that kid. He was one of the nicest dudes I talked to down there. James Williams, safety from Alabama. Gotta love that dude. But he just had that face mask on that play. Sam Hartman with a keeper, and James Williams is going to bring him down behind the line of scrimmage. Just was talking about him, and he makes a play. My guy, James. Good job, James. Proud of that dude. Good job. Holding contain, making the leg tackle on Sam Hartman for a 3-yard loss. Big play. I appreciate that sophisticated. I got a lot more interviews. I interviewed at least 30 to 50 players. I don't know if I'll be posting every single one of them, but most of them will be posted in the next couple weeks. Oh, Sam Hartman under pressure. He's going to lose the ball. That's a fumble. That's a live ball. They call it incomplete, but he threw it backwards. How's it incomplete? That was a horrible play by Hartman. Hartman is awful today. Oh, look at McCaffrey is open. Watch, look, Tez Walker. You can hit Tez. He threw the ball backwards. I don't know. They need to put Bo Nix back in. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe Bo Nix just wanted to do a drive or two. You don't have any answers that turned you off a player? There were a couple players that wouldn't give me a bear down. Um, I don't think I really heard anything from a player that would make me not. No, I don't. I think the answer to that would be no. Maybe some things I saw in practice, but not so much something someone said. Actually, maybe one, but I'm not gonna put that out there publicly. There was one guy that kinda honestly turned me off, seemed a bit immature, but honestly, I can't just because I don't wanna say anything bad about a guy like that, but there probably was one. But nah. No, I didn't hear anybody. I don't think I saw any Packers fans. I saw a lot of some Commanders fans, 49ers fans, Raiders fans, Bears fans, Patriots fans, a couple people from the Boston Herald were down there. Um, I didn't hear a single Packer fan. They might have avoided me though, because I was rocking Bears stuff every day. I had Bears stuff on every day. And the Nationals will take the lead on this ill-advised Sam Hartman drive. 10-7. Finally, finally get some more points on the board here. The game started out hot with I want to see I'm hoping Spencer Rattler and Bo Nix come back in for the fourth quarter because they both led the team down the field for touchdowns and then pretty much nothing once they left the game. Well, that's a good one, William. I think one thing I will say is I am more I consider myself more on the scouting, spectrum side of things, not really a media guy that asks questions. I was underprepared and overwhelmed when it comes to, like, talking to the players and the media, but I had a great time. I loved talking to the players. I loved, the responses I got, and I had a great time with it. I thought it was awesome. The game is on NFL Network for anyone who, is asking that. David Warner coming in from Australia after waking up. Appreciate you, my man. Big, big P energy. Oh man, he is not playing today. He's not playing. I thought Radler would get more playing time as well. Thing that let's see. That's a good point there, sophisticated. That's one of my favorite parts about the people on this channel, and I think part of it is because I don't mind banning people that talk crazy. I'm not scared of losing 1 viewer or 2 viewers over someone that's gonna come into the chat and disrupt the entire energy. If one person's gonna come in the chat and try to disrupt the energy of sometimes well over 100 people watching, I'm I'm just not gonna it's not for me. I would rather just not do it for the people in the chat. So, I think our chat is probably one of the coolest chats out there. I haven't seen a chat that's this chill, and honestly didn't think this many cool, chill Bears fans existed. Yeah, I don't know how you're still here, Knowledge. No, you don't talk crazy, man. I mean, like, getting personal with other fans, like, trying to fight with people in chat for no reason. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, I don't mind that. And they're talking to Thurman Thomas on the sideline. Okay, Thurman. Wait, where'd my box score go? Oh, there it is. It hasn't updated yet. Wonder if ESPN got him. The box score is not even updating anymore. Oh, man. Hey, what's up, Devin? I expect that as well, Cliff. New and improved Justin Fields this year, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know what happened to this box score, guys. For some reason, there's no box score on ESPN for this game. I don't know what is exactly why not, but I looked all morning and there's just no box score. Oh, who was that? I didn't see who made that play. Will Swift do a draft party somewhere? I will see. I'll definitely probably. I did a live stream last year. I don't know what I'll be doing this year. Never knew you had Benjamin Albright. Never knew I had him. What? Block? That guy don't like me, man. Mhm. Oh, okay, okay. That was the best beef ever, bro. That was a hilarious beef. Hoping for some offense here, guys. We got a new quarterback in for the American team now. It's Carter Bradley from Southern Alabama. This is his home squad, his home stadium here, South Alabama quarterback in the game. Oh yeah, you know I'll be there. Always, man. Always trying to do some collabs with them, man. Doing the sound right now for an alien abduction. Hey, you gotta. Hey, I love alien abduction stuff, bro. You gotta send me that when it's done. Tuesday, you know I think we are, man, but I don't have any insight. I will say a lot of people, almost everyone I talk to down in Indy seem to think we were taking Caleb Williams. But my caveat to that is not a single one of those person or not a single one of those people have any idea what Ryan Poles is going to do. So I don't know. Not yet. I haven't applied yet, JD. I'm working on that, and if I get those, I will be there. If I don't get those, I probably won't go this year because honestly, last year was disappointing without credentials. Nice pass from Carter Bradley. TCU running back again, another first down. Potentially. I'm working on getting moved. I've been trying to move for like a year. A lot of stuff going on right now. Once I get moved and settled in, we'll see. Let me refresh this box score again. There it goes. 10-7 national team. I was not able to talk to Ryan Poles. He avoided the media like the plague. I was I watched everywhere Ryan Poles went. I I'll put it to you this way, Q. Whoever Ryan Poles was watching on the field, I was watching. Maybe not the same exact player, but wherever he was standing and looking is where I was pointing my camera for 95% of the time I was down there. There was, hey, yeah, I showed Cece a video. Hey, Q, this is hilarious. I showed Cece a video where Poles is walking. He's like 5 feet in front of me and coming right towards me. And I yell, "Hey, Poles, can, can I get a bear down?" Bro, he just starts walking faster. Didn't even look. He wouldn't do it, bro. He was like, nah. Carter Bradley, incomplete. Is going to be 3rd and 9. Yeah, he was probably like, man, I might need to get an order of protection on Swift. So I got a video of me asking Poles for a bear down, but I don't get it. So I'm probably not going to show that very often. Maybe one time just to tease. He was definitely aware of me though. I caught him looking my way a couple of times. And I saw another question there. I think it was Q. Sorry, Q. As far as Ian Cunningham, yes, they definitely split up. They were never side by side for too long. They basically would like group up, be chatting a little bit, Holes and Cunningham like side to side, and then they'd usually stay on the same side of the field, but they were always positioned different angles. And Cunningham is a networker. Ian Cunningham was talking to a lot of people on like a lot of different coaches, a lot of different players. I like Ian Cunningham. But Poles has that swagger. Like people would come up to Poles. He didn't have to go up to them. People would just like gravitate towards Ryan Poles. And that was one of the most interesting things. Even guy I saw Mike Tomlin go up to Poles at one point, kind of dap him up and talk to him for a few minutes. And I was like, I love it. I just have a lot of respect for Poles. I feel like he's Ryan Poles is the right man for the job. Yeah, and I think Ian Cunningham staying for another year, especially with how important this offseason is, I think it's just perfect. I think it's perfect for this offseason, having Poles and Cunningham both here, both on hand at the Senior Bowl, like, gotta love it, man. Swifty, do the Chiefs win the Super Bowl? Probably. I blame CeCe for this by the time if it happens because I was rooting for the Bills to beat the Chiefs, and she was rooting for the Chiefs. And I was like, "Why do you wanna see Mahomes in the Super Bowl again?" She goes, "He has no chance to go in the Super Bowl." Look what happened. Should have walked up, told him my uncle used to scout. I scout, huge Bears fan. My guy Knowledge has these insane analytics you gotta see. No, I tried. I tried, man. Listen, Paul, hey, there was one point in the time when I was on the field, when I was allowed to walk the whole field for interviews, where Ryan Poles was on the field. And I literally had 3 guys who were in the stands, not allowed to go on the field, directing me to where Poles what was because they had a better view from above, and Poles dipped out into a side tunnel, and I ran across the field. I did like a 40-yard dash sprint across the field to where Ryan Poles was, and they wouldn't let me go in the tunnel. They had security over there. They're like, NFL personnel only. I was like, oh, okay, okay. Do a poll. See if, all right, I'll see if you guys, who you guys want to win, Chiefs or 49ers? All right, give me a second. Oh, nice job, Tip. I think that was Gray, the linebacker. Gonna force fourth down here for the national team. At least 3 first round picks, JD. I would need a first rounder this year, first rounder in 25 and 26 to go down to 5 or below. My 40 was probably not in the draftable range, but I mean, I'm not. I could beat all the offensive linemen probably. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, Super Bowl winner. Let's see what you guys say. I'm gonna. I'm rooting for the Niners. I just don't want to see Patrick Mahomes get another. Um, what's the word? A Super Bowl championship. I just don't want to see it. That David Kaplan. I never saw David Kaplan. Most of the people down there were scouts. I didn't see a lot of like clickbait media guys. Most of the people there were people who loved watching practice. You gotta be a real football fan to be down there watching practice for 4 hours a day. And I was loving it as much as anyone on the entire stadium, besides maybe Ryan Poles, because he loved it more than me because he knows he's getting to pick these guys. So that's not fair. He's got draft picks and I don't. But but I loved it, man. It was crazy down there. I definitely ran a 4.130. I could definitely run a 4.130. Okay, we'll put it that way. I think the 49ers, I mean, Brock Purdy's the biggest question mark. But I mean, if Shanahan can get his play calling going, get Debo Samuel involved, mix in Ayuk and George Kittle, and just keep hammering Christian McCaffrey, not only with the running the ball, but with quick passes, checkdowns, and screens. Get McCaffrey the ball, get the ball into the playmaker's hands, and try to keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, and the Niners can win that game. I mean, CMC, it's all built through CMC, but there's a lot more stars on that team than just him. A broken foot, Cliff. I don't know if you can run a 40 with a broken foot, man. And if you can, I don't know if it's good for your broken foot. That's wild. Can I use the crutches? You think those will slow you down or speed you up? Guys, I have more content on the way. The Senior Bowl for the game. I'm just kind of hanging out, kicking it with you guys, answering questions in the chat, and when cool stuff happens in the game, we're definitely calling it out and talking about it. So many great players out there. The national team is back on the field again. Sam Hartman is still in the game at quarterback, unfortunately, but we still got exciting wide receivers out there. All three of these receivers on the field are dynamic. Tez Walker, Javon Baker, I'm sorry, and Luke McCaffrey all on the field. Come on, Sam Hartman. Sam Hartman is 5 of 17 for 50 yards. Holy cow. Oh, man. Okay, you can use them then, Cliff. I don't know if Malachi Corley played today. I haven't seen him. Has anybody seen Malachi Corley in the game? Yeah, Sam Hartman is he has not helped his draft stock today. And he fumbles the snap. A butt fumble for Sam Hartman. Five for 17, an interception and a butt fumble. Oh man, not his best day. Bro, hey, Tuesday, you made a great. I don't know why people act like Arch Manning doesn't exist. I mean, I know we haven't seen him play in college yet, but whew, come on, Hartman, 3rd and 9. This is a big play. Hughes got money on this national team. Oh man, big run up the middle. That Davis? Cameron Kitchens with the tackle. Okay, we got Cam Kitchens in on defense now. Let's watch Cam on this one. Breaks the outside. Oh, kind of got ran over a little bit there. Was that Simpson or James? One of the Auburn DBs came up, made a big play. I think the guy you would have liked the most was James. I like talking to Simpson, but James was exciting too. Yeah, this is a team that's winning in spite of Sam Hartman's efforts right now. I kind of like Sam Hartman, man. Um, but he has not impressed me at all this week. To be honest, none of the quarterbacks have really. It's been a disappointing week for them. Hartman, he's got time. He takes a shot, and it's almost intercepted over the middle. Watson. I don't know if I've ever wanted a player as much as I want Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, he throws it into triple coverage. Oh man, Hartman. All that time, no pressure, and he gets picked and he almost gets picked off. Now, Penix actually had the best week, Hugh. I think that's why he didn't play. He had the best week of practice of any quarterback, but it still wasn't great though, in my opinion. Hartman just throws this away. There might be a roughing the passer. Hartman just throws the ball away and gets bailed out with a personal foul. He just got more roughing the passer calls than Justin Fields got all year. Hey, this Reese's Senior Bowl referee crew is good too. We should hire him in Chicago. Well, again, the Nationals team has something going here in spite of Sam Hartman. All right, Hartman's dropping back again. He's got time. He's got McCaffrey wide open over the middle for a first down. Luke McCaffrey making some money today. Oh, they called a timeout. 6 seconds left in the third. Good job by McCaffrey. Getting open under the zone. Oh, you see that Auburn defensive lineman right there. Harris was trying to bat that down. He was trying, Q. Marvin did more than that this year. There's a lot of nerves for some of these quarterbacks down here. Um, Hartman, this was a big week for Hartman though. This was his chance to improve his draft stock. And so far, he definitely has not done that. He's honestly probably hurt it a little bit, especially with how talented his wide receiver group is. The wide receivers on that national team, nice. Yeah, good point. Knowledge. His arm was he probably had the biggest arm down here in Mobile. So here we go. 52-yard kick, trying to take a 13-7 lead. This looks good. It is. Nails it. 13-7 national team as we head into the fourth quarter. Yeah, the wide receiver just in the draft this year is a stacked class. So it's one of the reasons I'm studying this year's wide receiver class so much. I think Ryan Poles likes to double dip when it comes to positions. Yeah, that 50 plus yarder into the wind. That wind down there kicks a little bit too. I experienced. It's right off the ocean. They're literally right off the Gulf of Mexico. So the wind down there, it's got some kick to it. From Chicago, I mean, we're no joke when it comes to wind. Hey, what's up, you ma'am? Yeah, knowledge. I haven't finished scouting yet. Obviously, I I take a lot of time in my process. I don't like to make projections before I'm finished, but this year's class overall, there are there are 15 to 20 or more wide receivers that I would love to have on the Chicago Bears. And most years, there's probably, I don't know, 8 to 12. This year, there's possibly double that, the amount of wide receivers that I really like. So that's something to think about when it comes to this year's draft and our need at wide receiver. We have DJ Moore, but we need to supplement talent around him. We need someone else with him. I think we can all agree on that. Well, you got to, hey, knowledge, you got to get with me and give me some of the analytics and insights, man. Where you at? Do you have any leads on Australian punters? I do not. I thought I need someone, I need one of my guys from Australia to give me that. You guys got to give me that info. You can walk away with one player for offense and one player on defense. From the Senior Bowl, I answered that in my video I'm taking Jackson Powers Johnson on offense, Darius Robinson on defense. So that would give me the center on offense, defensive lineman, edge on defense. But in the entire draft, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. on offense. And honestly, I really like Cam Kinchin's safety on defense. I don't know if I have one guy in the entire draft that stands out on defense, but at the Senior Bowl was Darius Robinson for me. Defensive lineman from Missouri. Dude is an absolute stud. My dream though right now I don't care how it happens or what Ryan Poles does, but I'm gonna type it, okay? These 2 players, okay? If he can get these 2 players, I give him an A plus no matter what else he does. Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver from Ohio State, and Jackson Powers Johnson, center from Oregon. Take both of those players. I don't care where. I don't care if you take him at pick 1 and pick 9. Honestly, if we left the draft and you tell me Poles took Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 1 and Jackson Powers Johnson at number 9, and we didn't get any extra picks, I would still be really, really happy. Really happy. But Poles can do so much more than that, is what I'm saying. So it's wild. With Liatu Latu's neck injury, I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to know anything about that. I will say from talking to him and hearing the amount of other people that asked him about that question, he is not concerned about his neck. He wants to just play football. Hey, Glenn, my guy, what's up, man? Just got back from Mobile, Alabama. We're watching the Senior Bowl. Currently 13-7. National team is up. Hey, I get that, Muck Muck. I'm just telling you my 2 favorite players in the draft, which was the question. I still, in all my mocks, I take Marvin Harrison Jr. and an edge like Chop Robinson or Jared Verse. I agree we need a defensive end. Hand off. Nothing. It's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up. I've had Verse mocked to us at 5 through 9 for a long time. Let me show Glenn me down at the Senior Bowl. Hold up. I got to wash my hands anyway. Give me 1 second. Oh, no, wait. We need an edge. We do need an edge. That's true. Center is probably the biggest need, though. It's me down at the Senior Bowl, laying down here, firsthand. Interviewed a bunch of players too. I got interviews coming out. 3rd and 8. Lad McConkey in the game for the first time. Georgia wide receiver. I haven't seen him today. They're throwing to him. Just missed him on the sideline. 4th down. American team's gonna have to punt. I'm washing my hands. 1 second, guys. And I feel like that was a specific play that they drew up for Lad McConkey, who was one of the best receivers of the week. I haven't really talked about him, but McConkey was clearly the best route runner out there. Anybody not familiar with McConkey, that guy can ball. Probably the best route runner out there. Good job, James Williams, again making another play. Multiple times they now on special teams. My guy. Hey man, we all miss Owen Cruz, Glenn. For real. I kind of agree with what Williams said right there. If we can come out of this draft, give me 2 wide receivers, a center, and an edge, I'm gonna be happy. But there's certain players I would want more than the other. I have favorites at the edge position, the center position, and the receiver position. But I think drafting offense is really important this year. We have we have a lot of talent on defense. We do need another edge rusher, but we need more talent on this offense, on the offensive line, at wide receiver, all over the place. Yeah, I agree with that, Steely. Jason Kelsey's retired. There's zero chance Jason Kelsey's coming to the Bears. I don't know where that rumor's coming from, but he retired. And if there was any chance he was coming back, he would play with the team he played his entire career for. There's no chance he's coming here. No chance. Where do I see Missouri defensive end going? First round, man. Top 20 pick. Oh my goodness. Mitch Osborne. What do I do? What do I do with my hands? Put it with a $199 super chat. Swifty in the house. Hey, I can like the super chat. Hey, my man. I don't give me a second. I gotta process this. Hey, my man. Wanted to support the cause for all the work at the Senior Bowl. You hear Cliff backed out of Vegas. If he goes to Washington, they say Washington can give us 1 point or pick number 2, both second rounders and next year's first. Meaning we traded the number 1 pick for, oh yeah, basically Montez Sweat, the number 2 pick, a first rounder next year, and a second rounder. I mean, that's a dream. I've talked about that a little bit for a while now. If we could get a trade to either number 2 or number 3 and get, I even said less than that, Mitch. If you give me next year's first, so this is what I have to get. I'll type it out in chat just so people. If you give me number 2 this year, right? You give me a second rounder this year, a second this year, and number 1 pick or first, I'm sorry, first round pick in 2025. Those 3 things. And we can still get Marv. With your scenario, we're getting an extra second rounder on top of this, which that would make it even better for me. But if we could just get this right here, you give me number 2, you give me a second round pick this year, so we have a second, and you give us a first next year, so we have 2 firsts again next year, and we can draft Marvin Harrison at number 2, or potentially trade down again from number 2. That's all I need, because we could still trade down from number 2. You give me a first next year. No, I'm saying this is what. Now, obviously, if you have multiple teams fighting over it, you get more than that. You build it up, but that's the baseline of what I'm happy with. If Poles can pull off more than that, he's the king, and we know it. That's a dream scenario for me, Mitch. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much for that super chat, my man. I don't know how to thank you, but I agree, man. That's the dream scenario right there. And with Cliff Kingsbury, yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Um, Basically, he backed out of the Raiders job, but right now the reports are he's the favorite to land the job with the Commanders. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't have any insight in it, but it sounds like he might take the Commanders job. It sounds like both teams wanted him, and he pretty much had his choice. So we'll see how that ends up. Yeah, I think this number 1 pick is insanely valuable. Insanely. I don't even know how to put a price on it. I think a lot of teams are going to want Caleb Williams, and I'll be addressing that in a little bit as well. Yeah, he's not. Oh, look, McConkey on the punt return. I want to see the American team get the ball to Ladd here. Number 84 for Georgia. Best slot receiver in the draft, Ladd McConkey. He just, he's the route runner extraordinaire. It's what he does. He runs routes and gets open, especially out of the slot. You can't stay with him. I saw Quinion Mitchell stay with him a couple times. Chris Abrams Drain from Missouri stayed with him a couple times. Of course, Cliff, but if we're only trading down from 1 to 2, you don't get the same value as going from 1 to 9. 1 to 2 is different. We can still trade down multiple times from 2. If you could get 3 picks, 3 day 3 top 50 picks to move down 1 spot, that is insane to me. Hey, Q, you've been on I gotta be real with, the Georgia offense. One of the teams I didn't scout enough this year. It's a team I'll be watching more of, Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers over the next couple of months. I admittedly haven't watched enough of either of them, but McConkey really impressed me down, in Mobile, Alabama, for sure. Mm, what about Arizona? Okay, the problem with Arizona knowledge, here's my thing with Arizona. I don't Arizona would take Marvin Harrison Jr. So, one, I don't see Arizona trading up for Marv. I don't see Arizona taking a quarterback. So, if we make that trade, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, actually, Muck Muck. We have another channel that I started on YouTube with Bill from the 3 Point Stands Pod and Will Wright. And Will Wright was down at the Shrine Bowl for us covering it, and he actually interviewed Malik Washington for us, and I posted that interview's up on the MODG podcast channel. Maybe I can find that link. Give me a second. You guys want to check that out. Ben Sinnott with the catch, throws it out to the tight end. I really want to see him, like I said, focus on the offensive line or getting the ball to Luke McCaffrey on this drive. I'll post that in the chat if anyone wants to see that. That's a Malik Washington interview that my man Will Wright got done down at the Shrine Bowl. Tuesday. I haven't been playing any games in a while. No, I pretty much only played season one at Diablo 4. Got to like level 80 or something, and that's it. My biggest disappointment in gaming this year is I don't like Madden anymore. Madden, I've always enjoyed Madden. Oh, oh, there goes Flournoy. Oh, a reverse to my man Flournoy. This was the guy my man Bill interviewed. His nephew went to high school with him. Flournoy, good kid from Chicago. Said he'd be right at home if the Bears drafted him late. Yeah, Wilson not so Q. He didn't. I didn't really see him getting reps at tight end in the team drills, but after getting beat badly, he basically looked bad in the 1v1 drills versus corners day one. So day 2 and 3, he was doing one-on-ones against linebackers and safeties with the tight end group. But I didn't see him doing it in the team drill. But he was doing it the 1v1. Who did someone else? Tyler Guyton looked really good. I think Tyler Guyton had a good week. His wingspan is crazy. Yeah, Johnny had a bad week, knowledge. He just had a bad week overall. He didn't look explosive. He wasn't getting separation. He was having problems catching the ball. I like Johnny Wilson too, but not a good week for him. The American team is rolling over here. No fight in them. They didn't even try to get the ball to Luke McCaffrey there. They're just trying to give this one to Sam Hartman. South Carolina wide receiver. That'd be Xavier Legette. Um, Good week. Um, he didn't he didn't extremely stand out like I thought he would, but he had a good week. Um, Very physical. He has some explosion off the line of scrimmage. I kind of question his deep speed. I want to see how he runs in the 40. He didn't get a ton of separation. He had a couple drops, but man, he had some awesome catches as well. He had some awesome catches. Fisk was good. Fisk just became the only player ever traded in Senior Bowl history today. Traded from the American team to the national team. He had a good week though. He won a lot of 1v1s. One of the few guys I didn't get to talk to, at least not an interview. I talked to him for a minute and listened to him interviewing with somebody, but I didn't interview him myself. But he had a good week. I I I don't think anybody, as far as tackles are concerned, knowledge was better than Tali Fuaga this week. My man Tali was. The people want to say he's just a run blocker. Whoo, man. Hey, no problem, Muck. There's more. My man Will interviewed some more people. I think between the two of us, we might have got 100 interviews total between the Shrine Bowl and Senior Bowl. So we'll be posting those over the next month or so. I talked about, hey Mitch. So I talked about this. I talked to Fuaga. He actually said he could play anywhere on the line, and with in terms to the Bears specifically, he said he'd love to play next to Darnell Wright at right guard. So that's just something to remember there. He's a guy, he can play tackle, but he sounded like he'd be perfectly fine. That was his idea. I didn't ask him that. He said it himself, so we'll see. He said that a few times, actually. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I said I would probably put him at left guard and put Nate at right, or not Nate, I'm sorry, Tevin Jenkins at right guard. So that way I'd have Kali Fuaga on the left side, same side as Braxton Jones. That way, if something happens to Braxton or Braxton gets hurt, I just slide Fuaga one slot over from left guard to left tackle. That was probably what I would do because I think Fuaga can play anyway. I would not be mad if we ended up taking Fuaga somewhere in the first round. Anyone not familiar who I'm talking about, his name's Ali Fuaga, tackle from Oregon State. Dude is a monster, though. I think that's very possible, yes. Hartman's throwing it deep to Tez Walker. And the theme of the game and the entire practice week, a ball that Tez potentially catch, underthrown, hit his hand, and he does not catch it. I'm not putting that one on Tez. Let me be clear there. I'm not blaming Tez for that. He was open and the ball was underthrown. But that's been kind of the theme of the week. He's dropped some passes, and he's had some passes that have been underthrown or overthrown like that as well. But the theme is he hasn't made the plays. I want to see him make more plays in regard to that. I want to see him come down with a couple of those. The problem is there's been about 10 or 11 instances that are similar to that, where Tez either doesn't make the catch, cornerback breaks it up. It's just happened a lot this week. That's the third time this game, even. He has 3 or 4 targets and 0 catches today. I just want to see him make a play. I like Tez. I was really high on him coming into this. I thought he was going to actually break out this week and potentially could push himself into the class of a first round pick, but that clearly has not happened. And there we go again. He throws the Tez, and this one is just a horrible pass. Misses him behind him. Sam Hartman has not looked good all week. Marcus Harris made a play by Auburn there in the backfield, too. Yeah, another punt coming up. The Mariners team's going to get another chance. Lad McConkey back there on the punt return. They need to get the ball in his hands on this drive. I like that McConkey's taking some shots returning balls in the punt category, though. We can use a punt returner. Everybody knows that. Oh, nice punt inside the 10. Iowa Hawkeye punter in the house. Yeah, Sam Hartman. I don't I don't ever want to dog on a player, and I don't want people to think that's what I'm doing here. But yeah, Sam Hartman had a bad week. I feel for the kid. I hope he bounces back. Has not. They've left him in the game too much, I think. I think they were hoping he would make some plays. He just continues not making plays. Come on, Sam. Like to see him come back on this next drive and lead a touchdown drive when they get it back. They're talking about the Bears picks now. Oh, that's Bo Limmer in at center. Hey, watch the center on the American team here. Bo Limmer, I like him. Oh, incomplete, incomplete. I think he's just joking about Colin Cowherd. I believe that's Lewis Riddick, isn't it? I don't know who the other guy is, but Lewis Riddick is one of them. I recognize the voice, but I don't have a name to it. Yeah, the Bears are actually play calling for the oh, why do I not remember the team? Kerry Joseph, our new quarterback coach, is calling plays. And then Jim Gray, our tight end coach, is the offensive line coach down here. And that's a safety for the national team. Are they going to mark it down below that? I like Bo Limmer. Up and down all week, but I think that's Fisk. Is that Braden Fisk that got it? The first player traded in Senior Bowl history comes up with a big time safety. Oh, I don't think they gave him the safety. They're marking it at like the one, it looks like. Yeah, Joe Milton was just standing there. Hey, Braden Fisk has had a good week. Man. How are they going to mark that at the three? The three? All right, Milton again. He's going to dump it off short. I think I sent it. He might have got the first down. What a play by the Kansas State tight end, Sennett. Another guy who had a big week. Ben Sennett on a 3rd and 16 takes the check down pass, gets 16 yards and a first down. What a play by Sennett. He's a guy who stood out at tight end this week. Not a guy I was overly familiar with, but definitely stood out at tight end. He made plays consistently throughout the week. Come on, Joe Milton, put something together. Milton was up and down this week. I would say Milton was moving his arm angle around a lot and looking to make plays. And there he is. He hits Lad McConkey over the middle. First down. Finally, they got McConkey involved. You know what I saw from I took note of this multiple times with Sam Hartman. During 7-on-7 and scrimmage drills, he would take off running too much. Like, it's a 7-on-7. Why are you not throwing the ball? All right, come on, Joe Milton. Come on, baby. Oh, here we go. He's taking off running. Lowers his shoulder. It's about 7 there. Okay, Joe Milton. Hey, I'm rooting for Joe Milton on this drive. I want to see some offense. This has been a slow game. Come on, Joe. I like Joe Milton. He's a good dude. I didn't interview him, but I listened to his interview and I talked to him for a minute. Jump down. Gonna pick up the first down. Close to the 50-yard line. American team's driving. Hey, McConkey broke more ankles than I can count down there, Q. You don't even know. Oh, how tall is Joe Milton? He's at least 6'2". Hold on, let me look it up. 6'5", 236. Not official, but he's big. He's a big dude. Joe Milton back to pass. He's throwing one up. This looks like it's intercepted. It is. Shaw Smith Wayne. He's taking it back. He's going. He's got space. He's at the 20 and cuts back. He breaks it. He breaks Lad McConkey's ankle. He's taking it into the end zone. Pick six. National squad. He might be down just short of the end zone. What a play, though. To the 1 yard line. Just ran out of gas. Man. Oh, Christian Haynes. Look at Lad McConkey getting his ankle broken on the cutback. Oh, man. I could see Milton getting drafted pretty late. He's got a Cam Newton build. Hey, oh yeah, I forgot you bet on him, Q. I was rooting on the American team to go down there and score. My bad. I was just looking for some excitement. We got that, bro. We got a pick six. I'm down with it. I think I prefer Jordan Travis to a guy like Joe Milton. I did see Joe Milton. One thing I saw though, because I did watch the quarterbacks some this week. I saw Joe Milton, and I talked to a guy who scouts quarterbacks. There's this guy who does independent scouting. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he has a website out there, and he writes for some art an article for some newspaper as well. I wish I knew it off the top of my head, but he has this website where every year he scouts every single quarterback, and he's done it for 20 plus years. He's graded every quarterback from Peyton Manning to Mitch Trubisky to Patrick Mahomes to Caleb Williams, all of them. And his scouting, he's done with his scouting report on Caleb Williams. And I don't want to misquote him, but his Caleb Williams report, scouting report was much lower than Justin Fields. So he is a guy I'm going to be trying to bring on the show and hopefully bring some of his scouting reports on with him, show some of those off. I'll be talking to that guy soon. But my point here was I was watching Joe Milton. I talked to him about Joe Milton once, and he saw something that I saw too. Milton was actively trying to get better all week. He was trying to make plays. He worked hard. And he showcased a lot of different arm angles. And for a big guy that's 6'5" like that, he was able to get the ball out almost every time, which is something I liked. That interception we just saw on that last play, obviously not great, but also looked like the receiver gave up too. But Joe Milton has some potential. I wouldn't completely write him off, but he'd definitely be a late round pick. Nice job by Shaw Smith Wade though on that interception. 1 yard shy of the pick six. Mm-mm-mm. 1 yard line national team, 13-7 lead, looking to put the game away. Can Sam Hartman and the offense get 1 yard? Hartman, he's throwing. Yeah, hey, I'm glad you mentioned that, Mitch. I gotta discuss this because I don't know. I get at least one or two comments about my guy Adam Mason every day. Listen, guys, Adam may not be telling you this, but I have to be I'm part of the reason he started doing this. Adam was one of my first viewers. Adam's been watching my channel since day one. Me and him always agree on almost everything. Adam Mason's a good dude. He's always watched my channel. I tried to get him on a show like 2 years ago, and he was like, "Swift, I don't make content. I don't really have time for that." And like me dude, he's been watching my channel since day 1. And then I found out he was making content a couple months ago, and I went right to his page immediately and was like, "Adam, when did you start making content? Why didn't you tell me?" And he was like, "You inspired me, Swifty." And but I'm trying to do a collab with him, but I can't get a hold of him. He doesn't have Twitter or anything. I've commented and told him like we got to do a collab, and he'll say it too, but he's a family guy. He's got kids that are still young, so he doesn't have a ton of free time. But me and Adam are definitely cool. That's one of the dudes. He's been watching my channel since day 1. I support that dude for sure, and definitely would love to do a collab with him soon for sure. But 100%, yeah. That guy, I don't know him personally, but we've talked in my comments since the day I made this channel. Like he's been talking to me about draft prospects, and we've been agreeing on a lot of the same things for 2 plus years now. So yeah, good dude. If you guys watch Adam Mason, tell him I said what's up. He knows. But yeah, love that guy. 3rd and goal here. Can the national team put it away? They are short again. It's going to be 4th and goal. Sam Hartman could not get 1 yard. Could not get 1 yard. I think they're going to take the field goal here. Hey, the problem with that knowledge, for some reason, people assume that Romo Dunze is going to be available at 9. Why do you think he's going to be there at 9 when I think he probably goes 6, 7, or 8? I don't see Romo Dunze falling to 9. I know he does in a lot of mock drafts, but if he comes out and runs a good 40 time, I don't see him falling to 9. If he does, heck yeah, it'd be awesome. I don't see it happening though, to be honest. I got 3 receivers in my top 6 right now, so we'll see. But all right, the national team's going to try to put it away with a 20-yard field goal attempt here after they were not able to connect from 1 yard out after the near pick 6. I think yeah, one of the 2 might still be there, Cliff. And they're going to ice the field goal up 16-7 and pretty much safely secure Q's bet there on the national team. But the American team is going to have a minute 15. I want to see Joe Milton or whoever's in offense come down here and put a drive together at least. I'll have another video out in about an hour or so. My man Bill from the 3 Point Stands pod, he also has a video dropping, I think in an hour. It's part of the interview that we did. I think it's him talking with Clay Harbor. We talked to Clay Harbor down there. I don't know. I haven't even thought about dinner, man. I got like 2 or 3 videos I'm gonna be working on as soon as this game ends. I've done nothing but work all week, man. Bro, I've only ate like 2 or 3 times. I'm drinking a lot of protein shakes. I live off protein shakes right now. That's what makes it tough, Q. Like, how do you judge these guys, man? I know a lot of people were down on Tez Walker because he didn't come up with a lot of plays like I was talking about, but it's hard. How do you make plays here? Oh, Michael Pratt in the game. He's gonna take a big hit and his pass is short. Oh, yeah, man, it's been really fun. Keith Randolph, the big defensive tackle from Illinois, coming right in there and blowing the quarterback up there. Un Pretty much just almost killed him, almost took his head off there. All right, Pratt drops back. Got a little bit of time this time. Gonna dump it off short over the middle, incomplete, broken up by Gray again. Having a real good day on defense. And substitute Coke Zero for Dr. Pepper and chocolate milk, and that's me, Q. I made a video on that, a really good video last night. Bill, I don't know your first name. I want to call you Bradley Bill. I see Bill and it's like, wait, Bradley Bill? B Bill. I made a video last night that's probably one of my best videos I've made in the last year. So I would spoil that for you, but honestly, I would say check out that video because it also has interviews with most of my top 5 players. I included the brief interviews in that as well. I feel like it's a really good video and worth watching. Just came out last night. I released it like 10 o'clock last night. But yeah, it's a must watch to me. I'd say check that one out. If you want me to answer, just say it. I'll still say it. But the one guy is Jackson Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon. That's my guy. He was the guy I wanted to see when I came down to the Senior Bowl. He didn't disappoint me. He dominated. He didn't play today during the game because he was so good during the week he didn't need to. Michael Pratt's going to scramble. He's not going to get the first down. 25 seconds left in this one. Yeah, he stood out. And since Cedric Van Pran, the center from Georgia, did not participate, I don't know if it would have mattered. But JPJ from Oregon, he clearly established himself as the number 1 center in the draft, and honestly, he's probably getting a lot of first round buzz right now, which I don't like. I honestly wanna stop talking about him kinda because he's getting too much hype, and we're gonna need to trade back into the first down back into the first round or trade way down if we wanna get him now, but another short check down. Yeah, he played a lot of center this week, Christian Haynes. I talked to him about that as well. He said he's confident playing center. I asked him that question myself. I asked him if that was something he wanted to show scouts down here that he could play center or if it was just something he was doing to showcase his versatility, and he said he can play center, and that's something he really wanted to show scouts. Michael Pratt is throwing one up for the end zone. He takes a shot for Ladd McConkey. Does not get it. Wade gets his second interception of the game. The national team is going to win. What a game. Actually, I love seeing the Senior Bowl, man. Didn't have as much offensive explosion or fireworks as I wanted, but love seeing these guys put all this hard week of practice out on the field and take some shots. At least he took a shot with that last play. Love to see it. Yeah, Haynes, he can definitely play center, though. I think he can. He looked good at it all week. The Wisconsin center looked good. Bo Limmer looked pretty good, but JPJ stood out. Looks like you guys are pretty split on 49ers Chiefs. Pretty much 60-40, 49ers Chiefs. Pretty easy split down the middle. Great Senior Bowl, guys. I'm going to get right back to work. I'm going to try to have a video out in the next hour. I'm going to talk about all the Caleb Williams rumors that came out this week. Does he want to play for the Bears? Does he not want to play for the Bears? I'm also going to discuss these Shane Waldron rumors with people talking about how the Seahawks fans weren't happy with them and how the Seahawks offense struggled with them, and a couple other rumors I'm going to discuss, and then some more Senior Bowl coverage as well. And I think that's about it, but I got a ton of content on the way. I appreciate everybody who watched today. Love you guys. You guys are the best. I don't think I have anything else to say. Any final questions or anything for me? I think we're good. Go national team. Congrats on the win. And of course, as always, stay tuned until next time, guys. Turn those notifications on because I got a ton of stuff on the way. I'm going to kicking off heavy path to the draft, full offseason draft mode. Stay tuned and bear down.